Live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, everyone. This is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. As always, we appreciate you joining us. We are live streaming here from the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom, as we do every weekday starting around 1 p.m. It is Monday, and thanks for being here with us. For this segment, we are talking about a movie from a Portland producer, writer, director. There's a bunch of people in this interview that we're going to be talking about. The film is called Raging Midlife, and it's always good to talk about just how all these things come together and the Portland film community in general, which is robust and it's such an important part of the economy and just everything else that goes on associated with that, including the arts and films like this. And this movie, just to give you a little bit of a preview of it here. So we're going to be talking to Nic Costa, who's the producer, who got Rob Taylor, director, and one of the stars of the film. So the film stars Eddie Griffin and Paula Abdul as two of them. They're not on this interview. I just want to get that out of the way. But we do speak to Walter Koenig, better known as Chekov from Star Trek, the original series. The original Chekov is in this interview. So it's four different people all talking. It's cut up just a little bit, so you'll get to hear a little bit from everybody, but let's jump right into it here on Fox 12 Now.
So I'm Nic Costa. I am the co-writer, co-producer of Raging Midlife. I also have a small part as the lead in the film. And the film is a comedy. It's about a couple of guys on a quest to get a tank top from their favorite 80s wrestler, Raging Abraham Lincoln, after being outbid by a grieving daughter who's trying to satisfy her father's dying wish. And if you see here, you can see that's
there it
the
is.
real deal right there. Okay. Don't accept any imitation. Okay. That's garbage. That's the real deal.
No, okay, where did this idea come from? Were you a fan of 80s wrestling?
Oh, I definitely was. But Rob, I'm gonna let you take over. Rob, this is a good question for Rob because this is really his. He started all of this opus.
It started from a very small seed that I planted. I just had like a one-sentence idea where two guys are after something nostalgic that means a lot to them, and they find it on an online auction, and then they get outbid at the very last second by username FunGirl247, and now they're on a quest to find this fun girl and get the item that's rightfully theirs. That's all I had. I brought it to Nick, and I was like, where can we go with this?
We need a MacGuffin. We need an item.
We need an item.
Yeah, and so that's when we initially the idea was by my co-star Matt Zach, who came up with the tank top that Kurt Russell wore in Big Trouble in Little China. And then once we realized only a quarter of the population, a fraction of the population is going to remember that movie, we were kind of like, let's broaden our minds here. And by 2019, I was like, Rob, what do we think about Macho Man, Hulk Hogan, the tank top that he ripped off? What about this? And Rob was like, aha. Well, let's not get sued. Parody. Let's do that.
No, I thought it was great because everyone knows about 80s wrestling. The pageantry is very famous. We've all heard of these wrestlers. And so immediately I was like, this is accessible. I love it. Let's move forward. But I don't think we're going to get the IP to use actual wrestlers. But guess what? It's going to be so much more fun to create our own, which it was. The funny thing was the script existed with the Kurt Russell shirt for years and years. That's why whatever the item had to be when we switched it, it had to be a tank top because the tank top idea was too all over the script. And it's like, what other tank tops can we think of? Oh my God. Luckily, Nick had the brilliant brainstorm of using a 80s wrestling tank top, and we were off to the races then.
I mean, and perfect. And obviously, amazing characters. You got 80s wrestlers. I myself has gone as Macho Man twice for Halloween. So I appreciate, nice. I appreciate the pageantry. I think the last time I did it, I ran into two other Macho Mans at the same time.
Totally. You always got to get pictures together with them.
Exactly. Like, woo, yeah. But that's it's a great concept. And then you have this movie, an adventure all kind of wrapped in there as well. And Walter, I would love to know how you came about this and what was it that drew you to this movie?
Well, the guys asked me not to talk about it, but they gave me $250,000.
There it is. I mean, perfect.
Yeah. No, I thought it was very funny. And They're both very creative gentlemen, they have a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm. And they got their pulse on, I think, what the audience enjoys. And obviously, that has been further proven by the fact that they have a deal. They have a deal to release the film. There's a lot of independent movies that are made, and very few that get any exposure. So they know what the audience wants, and they're clever and they're talented. And what the hell? Nobody else is screaming for my ability. So
Fools, all of them.
I'm very happy to volunteer it here.
Anybody who is not screaming for your abilities has no concept of what abilities are, because you are a legend.
I almost went to school in Oregon. I almost went to the Oregon College. It was a very progressive, radical school back in the day, and I was inclined in that direction. So I certainly considered it. Unfortunately, and I don't quite understand what happened, but they didn't accept me. So I went to Iowa instead. And as I say, I needed a passport. The bucolic environment is not really my cup of tea. I'm not good with that kind of
So
atmosphere.
Walter did us the favor and flew up to Portland on our last film, Neil Stryker and the Tyrant of Time, where I know there's a lot of trees in Oregon, but we actually built this entire forest indoors, and Walter ends up decimating an entire horde of goblins, goblin puppets. And I didn't realize that was your first time coming to Oregon, and what a welcome.
We'll cut to that clip now.
Yeah.
No, you should have.
But
yeah.
I mean, we love. I mean, the Oregon Film Office helped us out so much on this particular film, and they made it so easy for us. Not to mention, like, Portland loves filmmakers and filmmaking. You would go to a bar, you would go to Oaks Park, and they would just leap and be like, "Yeah, how do we help? Can we offer up the space?" We've got great people, great filmmakers here, great crew here, Kerner Cameras here, Gearhead, Griffin Electric, a lot of great resources for filmmakers, plus great rebate programs that make it possible to do the impossible, which is what we did with this film, I would argue.
and now it's out there. So let everybody know too, when, where, and how they can watch.
Rob, take it away.
I don't know when you're airing this, but Cinema 21 is playing the movie Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Thursday's sold out, big premiere, that's tonight. And then Friday and Saturday are at 9:35 p.m. So come on out and snatch up those tickets because they're going fast. And if you can't make it out of the theater, don't even worry about it, because it's playing on Apple TV and Fandango at home. So you can just push a few buttons on your remote and sit back and relax.
That starts tomorrow. That gets released tomorrow, and then we're actually meeting Walter on Sunday at the LA premiere.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Nice.
We're rolling out the red carpet for Walter.
Big red carpet premiere.
And those fangirls that he was talking about earlier, they are going to be waiting for him there. So hopefully,
those groupies from high school are going to be there, Walter.
Push them away.
They're going to look a little different.
But they will be there, definitely.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Okay, final thing here for you guys now, having people coming, people are going to get to go see this, going to see it in the theater, they're going to see it on demand, wherever it is. What is it that you would most like people to take away from watching your movie?
We have been through pandemics and protests and wildfires when we made this movie, and every day we went to set, we just tried to keep it joyful and light and wanted everybody to have a good time. And we hope that the people at home have the same experience after watching this.
I mean, that's the thing. It'll translate through, because obviously you guys clearly enjoy each other's company, enjoy what you're doing. And I can only imagine that that translates through. And I mean, it's to find a shirt of a wrestler. I mean, come on, who's not going to like that? Like everybody's got that thing.
I will say Walter's scene is my absolute favorite scene in the film, and it leaves everybody in stitches. And I think of all the reviews that have been coming out, that everybody has been mentioning Walter and his wife Judy in that scene, and they're amazing.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for having some time to talk to us about this. Congratulations on everything and the success of it. And, you know, we'll let everybody know where they can, when, where, and how they can watch. If they already have tickets for the Thursday premiere, I mean, they're lucky. But then there's plenty of other opportunities that are coming up. And yeah, guys, thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
All right, I will say that Thursday premiere that I was referencing there, that was from a couple of weeks ago. This is now talking about that movie, though, being available for streaming. If you just type that in, you will find a streaming service for it. It's available for Red.no, at least on Prime Video and other places as well. So a huge thank you to them for joining us and having time to talk about that and just, you know, finding out something from again, Portland-based producer, writer there, and you know, Chekov from Star Trek. We didn't get a chance to talk about Star Trek, but nonetheless, still great to have them on. And thank you for joining us here for Fox 12 Now. We cover a wide range of topics. We have plenty more coming up here throughout the afternoon. And so whatever platform you are on, you have found the right place. Don't forget the Fox 12 Oregon app. That's another good one to download. And that way you can watch this program and everything else that we have going on here. But for right now, I'm going to take a break. I'll talk to you later. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.